lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with the few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Good evening, everybody. It is Monday, December 12th, 2025. You are tuned into the Drive-In Speaker Box podcast. I am your host, Bo, the boom operator.
I'm Slick Doggy, the party dude.
And this is apparently a lying podcast, so no truths will be told from mic number 2 tonight. But we are going to be talking to you about movies this evening. Thank you for joining in. It was a very dull, sleepy, boring week for movies. But we will tell you what's coming out in theaters this week. We're going to be talking to you about how things did in the theaters this past weekend. And we're just going to be talking to you about movies. This is what we do. Maybe some TV in there, because TV right now seems to be better than movies. And TV streaming services seem to want to be in control of all movie things. And it's just, what is even happening in this world right now?
I don't know, but yeah, that's a thing, huh? That's a first bit of news right there.
I mean, let's just jump into it, because we're all talking about it, and it's the biggest news that I think has hit the film world in a while, because some people are going as far as saying that it could be the end of the theater world as we know it.
Well, because Netflix right now is trying to buy old WB. After what was a month or two ago, we said that Netflix was like, no, we don't do that. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we'll totally do that. Mm-hmm. And it was to a point where, there's all these like antitrust laws being talked about. Everyone's like, are they taking WB games? What's the future of the new DC movies and all that? Because WB games, that's like Mortal Kombat and all of the Batman stuff, and all, like that's a big property in and of itself, with a bunch of other things too. But even old Orange Man Donnie J said that he was going to personally step in and have some oversight over the deal.
He just wants his cut.
Yeah.
He's like, gonna need to take 5% of this deal. It's gonna be a great deal.
Now, last I saw, the Netflix was talking about spending 72 point something billion dollars.
82.7.
I was gonna say, you were saying something about that's changed, because when I was reading the news the other day, yesterday I think it was at 72 something billion dollars,
so,
which is insane.
They had made an offer, and there was they had kind of won this exclusive negotiation rights by offering $82.7 billion. So then in the 11th hour, which just happened like yesterday, Paramount is like, hell no, Netflix, and came in with a they want to offer another counter offer that would make it about $108 billion valuation offer to take over it, which is just unbelievable. Like that's crazy. And the reasoning here, I think, what everybody's like, well, what does it matter? And as one person, I think it was Vince, just said in the Twitch chat, he said that, Netflix was kind of saying, like, not jokingly, that this may be the last time you see Lord of the Rings in theaters, because if they own the rights to it, then it's just going to be a streaming event. This is not going to be a theatrical experience. And that fucking smug SOB that runs Netflix, he's like, the times are changing, we need to really streamline the movie watching experience. And I was like, the movie watching experience is the theater, you butthole. Like, you cannot get the same level of enjoyment. Like, even when, like, we sit in a theater and you get mad that I, like, say things, but we sit in the theater and we watch it and it's big, like, that shared experience is still so much better than watching it at home. and it will always be better. And to get that sort of, everybody gets it at the same time. We go to the theater, we get the snacks, we get this thing, and we make it a special event. Then that's the magic of movies. Just like going, oh, what's popular right now? Oh, it's 11 doing this at the screen again. Like fuck that all day.
Yeah, pretty wild. It's crazy that we live in a world where the streaming services are buying like the original movie studios, like the big studios. Like MGM being owned by Amazon, and now maybe Netflix gonna own WB, and Paramount just turned into a streaming service instead of the other way around. You really would have thought that like the movie studios, these giant powerhouses that built Hollywood, would have been like, that's cool, we'll take that. But instead it's totally opposite, and that's wild to think about.
Vince said in the comments here, it says Seth Rogen said AMC should buy it. Honestly, AMC should buy it. The unfortunate thing is AMC doesn't have any money. And, AMC definitely should buy it, because that would be a really, really cool move to keep theater strong. And, I think, the theater experience, having this sort of difficult, like, resurgence period post-COVID, because we got to remember, it's only been 4 years since we really kind of put COVID in the mirrors, right? In the back burner. But, the problem that AMC has is it's one of those that can kill a business. It's just this self-fulfilling prophecy. It's where you're having a difficult time, so you cut corners to save money so you can pay your bills. But then by cutting those corners, your experience to the guest dwindles, and then less customers come because they're having less of an experience. And then it just kind of goes, woo, 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 woo.
So to that point, something I was going to bring up here a little later when I was talking about my movie review. This weekend, our AMC kicked us out of the movie theater because their bathrooms were messed up.
And that's a real thing, and which doesn't surprise me, because Fayetteville, Arkansas has some of the worst wastewater infrastructure in Northwest Arkansas. So as a person who's experienced some of these plumbing issues, it sucks. But yeah, when they have to kick you out, and you're just not having a good experience. It's just another one of those reasons. It's like, but they could have, get good customer service, they could have been like, hey, take a popcorn to go. We're sorry about that. Here's a voucher.
They gave us vouchers in our theater, but they did not give them to every theater.
They should have.
A couple of us walked out with the vouchers in our hands, and people were like, hey, wait a second, how come they have those? And then, of course, my question was, hey, I use A-List. A voucher does nothing for me.
Yeah.
What the hell do I do with this?
Can I get a popcorn voucher? Can I get a can? Yeah. Can I get a soda? Because this is the thing where AMC is not learning their strengths, right? Because if you give away a voucher, you get a butt in a seat, right? Like giving away a movie ticket, that's not bad. You give that person that seat, that person might buy concessions. If that person is already buying your AMC A-List or your premium stuff, give them a voucher for a free popcorn. Give them a voucher for a free soda, because those are high margin items for you. You can afford to give away a little. You can't give them a hot dog. You can't give them all this stuff. But a small popcorn or a fountain drink, like, man, that is like the bare minimum. And to find those touch points to where you can get that customer service up, that's what they should be doing.
Yeah. Well, and what's crazy about our local AMC is that whole corner cutting thing really shows, because I think we talked about it last week. The only time we ever get up and really say anything is when you go into a theater and there's speakers that aren't working, that are crackling. There's masking hanging in front of the screen, and it's been that way for 4 or 5 or 10 years. And you're like, hey,
fix it.
Can you fix that? And they're like, oh, well, the guy with the ladder only comes by every second Sunday.
Every solstice.
Yeah. And you're just like, Jesus, man. And so it's like,
give me the ladder. Let me go to it.
Yeah. Instead of them being like, hey, we have 20 of these screens. We're only showing 5 movies. We can knock out one of these showings so that we can go in there and fix this masking or something like that. They just don't, So some of that corner cutting is definitely stand out. You can see that for sure.
It's going to be weird to see who ends up buying Paramount, because it's going to be huge. It's going to have a lasting effect on streaming. It's going to have a lasting effect on movie theaters. Paramount wants to buy WB. So does Netflix. Everybody wants to buy WB. I don't know. Why sell it? Why not just keep it on going? It's doing fine. Why do they sell? I don't understand. Like, why?
Because they can make money. The guy's sitting up there, like, it was probably a joke, and then they were like, we'll take it, and the guy's like, oh yeah. Because think about this, man. Like when the Los Angeles Dodgers sold, it was for like $3.2 billion. That's a lot of money and a huge deal. When Lucasfilm was purchased by Disney, it was like $4 billion or something like that. And they're talking about 72 to 108 billion dollars.
Because I think when Disney bought Fox, it was about 70 billion.
Really? That's crazy, man. But yeah, dude, like 108 billion dollars.
I mean, how, like, to be able to just like look at your account balance and be like, oh, 70 billion, yeah, we could probably squeeze that. Like, what the fuck? Like, how is that even a thing? You know, to be like, yeah, for sure. Like, how do these purchases make? Because I know they don't go, oh, just put it on my Amex. Like, that's not how these things work. Like, do they even have $70 billion? Like, how do these things, like, that's
what do they move around to make
when
that?
you start looking at like macroeconomics of scale and you realize how absolutely obscure and intangible money actually is, it'll make your head spin. It's all a game. Money's a construct. Like, go long live Krampus.
Star Punch says maybe we'll get Batgirl. No, you won't, because the insurance money from that is part of that billions of dollars. Surely, like, there's no way that someone's gonna buy that and then be able to acquire that movie because the insurance money's paid out.
Did you watch that episode of The Studio? The that show with, what was it? That was Seth Rogen as well, and he's like this producer, and they're trying to get
because it was like an Apple show, wasn't it? You watched
I think
it.
So
you said you really liked it.
One of the best episodes. It was the most obvious. It was actually arguably one of the worst episodes, but in retrospect, it kind of had that Three Amigos like phenomena where it's like, that movie's so great, but then you watch it and you're like, I hate this, but then you think about it again, you're like, oh, it's really great. But there was an episode where they're trying to claim an insurance claim because this director thinks that the movie was so bad, and then there's a missing reel that just goes missing of the film, and because it wasn't shot on digital or something. And they're like, well, we can't release the movie because we're missing the stuff and we're out of money, so we can't do research shoots. So we're going to have to file an insurance claim and just like get our stuff back. But it turns out that she had like stolen the reel and kind of like was trying to smuggle it out of the studio so that they could claim it. But then Seth Rogen, the producer, realized that the thing was there. And so it was like all in a detective noir. And they tried to go find the reel and not have to file the insurance claim. But it was just one of those things. It's like, that's a real thing where they're like, we got to destroy this movie, make sure it never sees the light of day, because we're gonna make our money back through the scam that is American insurance.
Sometimes they do that. They'll have that full production going and people working on it are none the wiser. But the whole plan of the studio was just to shut it down and claim
Take the
insurance.
movie.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. Do we want to go to more crappy news?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so if you haven't been paying attention to the internet, a very, very, very awesome actor passed away. You may not know who he is, but if you've ever, what?
How do you not?
Well, I mean, he wasn't exactly a household name, but Cary Tagawa, he was like,
he was Shang Tsung.
But he was Shang Tsung, but he was also like so many other lovable characters. He was evil characters. He was voices in like DuckTales. He was, and he was just so many things. And he was he could play a nice guy. He could play an evil guy.
Am I remembering right that he was the grandpa in Johnny Tsunami?
Yes, he was the grandpa in Johnny Tsunami.
Hey, Bono. Dude, yeah. That was the coolest.
Yeah, he was in, he has been in so many things, and just a cool dude. And it's just really sad that I'm trying to find some. I knew there was Johnny Tsunami, but there was another one that was like another kids movie Yeah, he was in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. He was in, he was such a Thunder in Paradise, of course, and Thunder in Paradise 3.
Star Punch.
Like, I mean, how cool is this? Like, this dude, Shang Tsung, though.
Yeah. Your soul is mine.
Just,
Dude, he was so good at being a bad guy, but he was really good at being a good guy.
and that's rare. That's rare.
And he was kind of good at being like an in-between guy, but with a lot of character to him.
And good at martial arts, like being able to make that role in between people that were, can do martial arts really well, but then also act really well at the same time. That is something that doesn't always, translate over. And Tagawa was really able to do that. And it makes me sad because, I'm going to have to go back and watch the OG Mortal Kombat again.
Well, they had him in the most recent games. They gave Shang Tsung.
Oh, in Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, the Hiroyuki Tagawa skin, and he did the voice or something like that too. It was so cool.
Your soul is
Because
mine.
you had Mortal Kombat live action movie Shang Tsung as Shang Tsung in the video games. Super rad.
He was the best. He was the absolute best.
Yeah, Vince says he was in Tekken too. I think
He was
Tekken
in
the
Tekken.
movie. Was he Heihachi Mishima?
Had
to have
let
been.
me pull up his
'Cause who
credit.
would even-
Yes, he was Heihachi.
Of course he's Heihachi, because who else would?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no one else he could be except for that.
He was in License to Kill. He was in a 007 movie, man.
And it was in Memoirs of a Geisha. You know what? And the thing about Memoirs of a Geisha was that the girl that was the geisha that wrote the memoirs or whatever was the least cool part of that movie, because it had Hiroyuki in there, and it had Ken Watanabe was in that. I think Michelle Yeoh was in there.
Michelle Yeoh, of course, was in there.
It had so many just titanic actors and then the girl was the lamest part, because I was like, oh dude,
The supporting cast for that movie was that was the best part. But anyway, if you aren't familiar with any of his work, do yourself a favor. He was an awesome dude, and
watch Johnny Tsunami.
watch Johnny Tsunami.
Johnny Tsunami's
Johnny
rad.
Tsunami is pretty good. Pretty good stuff. All right, well, there's that news. Did you have any other news before we jump into new releases or anything?
Yeah, man. So just little tidbits of nonsense here is that there is going to be another Men in Black movie because they just cannot figure out
They can't
new
stop.
stuff.
Just quit.
So despite the fact that the last two movies have been just things that no one cares about and lost all the money, they are making another one. But they did say it all hinges on Will Smith being in it or whatever. So we'll see how that goes. And then that's in early pre-production kind of a thing. And then, I believe the IP is dry. You are absolutely right, Al. They're like, why think of anything when you can just take something else and then put a different movie story into the skin of that property.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then of course, we're getting another Super Troopers movie. So
That one's been they talked about that so many years ago.
Well, and it would have been fine if Super Troopers 2 would have been a little bit better, but Super Troopers 2 was just a rehash.
Pretty mediocre.
I went into that movie very stoked. I like the Broken Lizard guys.
Yep.
I think all of their movies are really funny.
The Machete Coletti, Machete Bill joke was the funniest joke I've ever seen. The setup was.
Is that and
that's the island one.
Yeah, the crap! I had it.
The
The horror movie, the one where they're
it wasn't
on.
a horror movie. It was
It's a joke movie, but it's like a slasher horror.
Something
yeah.
island.
I can't remember. Club Dread.
Club Dread. Yes.
Yeah.
Club Dread.
So I like Club Dread. I like Beer Fest. I like Super Troopers. All of these movies, but Super Troopers 3 is.
Did
just
you
something.
see Fackham Hall?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna be talking about that later in the show. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I sure did.
Speaking of comedy,
Except for the last 5 minutes of it. Full disclaimer.
well, Fackham Hall.
She walked in, turned the lights on, stood in the middle of the theater between all of the people, and said, "Everyone, get the hell out! Here's your movie pass."
Does doo-doo water
And we were
approaching now?
we were like, It has less than 5 minutes. They just gave you the end of the movie. All we got to see is them go back, reveal it to everyone, and then the credits roll. We can't just walk slow enough to get out
Can't
of here.
find who done it.
Yeah, so she wouldn't let us finish it. And then we got movie passes to go back so that we can watch a movie that only has one single showing a day at our theater to go watch the last 5 minutes of the movie. So anyhow, yeah, another Super Troopers movie's coming out. That does have a release date, August 7th next year. And then we got a teaser for what's likely a teaser trailer for Supergirl. It lasts every bit of like 4 seconds. It's Supergirl sitting there with some like goggles on, and then a spaceship hovers above her, and then it says trailer soon. The end. That's the whole thing.
We have
and apparently that's
teasers for the trailers trailers of the movie. Yeah.
apparently that's just really big news for whatever reason.
Oh God. You know, it's crazy
so-
because they go, here's one leaked frame of this thing, and every single solitary time one of these movies comes out, people get excited that, oh, this is what the costume looks like, and there's like a year of hype, and then the movie comes out, and everyone's like, oh, okay.
That's another thing. For like the 5th time, it was in the news that we get to see what Millie Alcock's Supergirl costume
cool. We're
looks
all
like.
gonna get to see a lot of it. Though.
Every 2 months, they're like, we get to see Supergirl's costume. Oh, best look at Supergirl's costume. Yeah, look, the debut of her costume. I don't care, dude. It's going to be blue. She's going to have a cape. It's going to have an S on it. I don't care. Like, Jesus, man. Superhero movies are done.
Yep.
Comic book movies are
done.
cooked. Get them the hell out of here. We don't want them.
Gonna get with 'em.
Yeah. So there you go. That's really it. Is just more crap that don't matter. Sequels to sequels and sequels to sequels and sequels to
Prequels
movies.
to IPs that you don't care about.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I think that's a pretty good transition to telling you guys what comes out in theaters tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but this week, Thursday, whatever. Time is no longer linear for me right now as we get closer to the end of the holiday season. But there are some movies that are coming out this week. Nothing like big, because I think everybody's wanting to give some big breathing room to Avatar, which is coming out next week. But there are a couple of movies coming out. There's one that's odd because the trailer is like the most boring trailer I've ever seen in my life, and it makes me not want to see this movie at all, except for the fact that the cast is huge and it's written and directed by James L. Brooks, who has won 3 Oscars. He's been nominated for like 84 awards. This dude is an unbelievable writer. It's freaking crazy, the things that he has written. However, he's not really known for his directing. As Good as It Gets, he did direct that, and Spanglish, he did direct that, but those were like, over 20 years ago. So his directing chops aren't great. So that's why I'm really kind of confused by what's going on with this movie, because it's called Ella McKay. It's about this idealistic young woman juggling her family and her work life in a comedy about the people you love and how to survive them. And Ella McKay is played by Emma Mackey, but it's got Woody Harrelson, it's got Kumail Nanjiani, it's got a bunch of different...
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis, Albert Brooks, Becky Baker. I mean, there's some other people that look pretty awesome in this movie. This has got a cast, man, and it just looks so boring. I've never seen a movie that looked so boring in the trailer. But it's gonna be coming out. So Ella McKay coming out in theaters this week. Also coming out in theaters this week that I think kind of looks kind of interesting. It's called Dust Bunny, and mainly the reason I think it looks interesting is because, number one, it's Brian Fuller. Brian Fuller is okay. We're gonna come back to Brian Fuller because this is going to take a little bit more explanation. I don't know why no one's talking about this movie. But it's starring Sigourney Weaver, heck yeah, and Mads Mikkelsen. And you know I like me some Mads Mikkelsen. So two total badasses in a movie about an 8-year-old girl asking her scheming neighbor for help killing this monster under her bed who she thinks ate her family. And it's this very over-the-top, fantastical, colorful adventure. And Brian Fuller, for those of you that don't know, Brian Fuller is an amazing writer-director, and he never, ever, ever seems to get the accolades he deserves. He created Dead Like Me back in 2003, which was a fantastic series. And then he went on to do Pushing Daisies, which was also a really, really, really cool show. And then wrote Heroes, which was a freaking cool superhero show that got stretched. The first 2 seasons were fantastic, but he wrote a couple of episodes of Heroes.
As soon as Michael Dorn showed up as president, I was like, that's cool.
And most importantly, he did Hannibal. Hannibal, let's just stop there. He did the whole series of Hannibal, which was one of the best Silence of the Lambs, like, you know, that whole Hannibal Lecter, the best Hannibal Lecter telling ever. But then also did American Gods, which was a really great adaptation of what arguably was a fantastic book, now written by a guy that no one likes anymore because, you know, he sucked. But
he also made the worst. He
did Star Trek Discovery.
New Trek.
He started Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, that's the one that's probably. He was did some of the teleplays for about 60 episodes of that, but he is a he was also a writer. He wrote 81 episodes of Voyager,
and then he used his power for evil to make Disco.
Yeah. So Brian Fuller, man, I like this guy. I like him a lot, and I am excited to see this movie. I want to see this movie. It's called Dust Bunny. That's the one I want to see. It's not getting any press whatsoever, so I'm gonna be curious to see what happens with this one. Mads Mikkelsen killing imaginary under the bed monsters, like, get out of here, dude. That's gonna be great. Also coming out, probably the only thing that we're gonna get is Not Without Hope, which is a kind of a based on a true story from the director that did The Gray. It's about these group of friends where they're on a fishing boat, capsizes off the coast of Mexico, and they are left stranded at sea, struggling for their survival. Just one of those maritime, like, dudes trying to survive, and based on a true story. Zachary Levi's in it, so you know it's going to be not make any money. Josh Duhamel is in it because I guess he needs a paycheck. I think, everybody else is just, I guess, in the movie to be there.
Maybe that Zachary Levi's thing now is just doing based on true story movies, because that movie about the girl with the farm that he was just in, that was based on a true story.
Didn't he do one about some little kid with, like, a disease?
Maybe
that everyone's like, look, he's gonna die young, love him. And one of those stories where they're like, he's so pure because he's gonna die soon. And those movies are sad. I don't like them. But sad dead kid movies, ugh, I don't like that. And they're like, yeah, but he touched all our lives. And I was like, it's gonna bum me out, man. There's a couple other sort of lower budget movies that may not make it to you. Lone Samurai kind of looks interesting, but I doubt it's going to be anywhere near you. It's written and directed by Josh C. Waller.
That guy doesn't look like a samurai.
No, none of it. It's gonna hit streaming very, very soon. And a couple other ones that are coming out. Little Trouble Girls and Eastern Western is all coming out this week. And then, of course, it's gonna give you a little bit of breathing room because we've got Avatar on the horizon, and then it's Christmas. So.
Yeah, I mean, what movie wants to come out sandwiched between Wicked and Avatar
during Christmas? Yeah, you're not gonna. I mean, SpongeBob's gonna go. We know who we are, and I'm just gonna roll into the theater, and just.
SpongeBob has brand power.
Yeah, he do. So I would honestly rather go see the SpongeBob movie on Christmas than Avatar. Like, Me and my family will probably go see Avatar just because, but I almost would rather go see SpongeBob Search for SquarePants. Because I know at least I'll laugh with it instead of at it. Which I will be laughing at Avatar because that movie looks like shit. It looks so boring. So that's what's coming out in theaters this week. You want to talk about Fackham Hall?
Yeah. So,
because Fackham Hall is not in national release, right? I think it's in.
I don't know. I know that two of our local theaters have it, but they're only showing one showing a day each.
Yeah. I just looked it up. It's showing in just over 1,000 theaters nationwide. So that's not many, but it's not zero either.
Right. So yeah, I went and watched Fackham Hall, which is it's a slapstick comedy for the sake of comedy, but with the genre of like what's it called?
The British dramedy, drama something or other.
British dramedy. Yeah, there you go. Because it's done where it's like Agatha Christie. It's done where it's like any kind of.
It's got whodunit elements.
For a little bit. It's there to play for jokes. It's mainly as a oh crap, what's it called? The thing about the house and the rich people in the 20s. The HBO show, whatever the
Downton Abbey?
Downton Abbey, there it is. So it's Downton Abbey with a touch of Agatha Christie and a whole bunch of like just that aristocratic kind of like too rich for their own good, like that whole genre.
It's like
of
white
things.
superior fanfic. Because like you know, one of the things about like these things and everybody I think is like, oh, wouldn't it be great if? And I'm like, it's kind of got like a white superiority complex going on.
No, because it has a super diverse cast.
Does it? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, this one though, not like Downton Abbey.
No, but Downton Abbey's aiming for historical accuracy.
That's my point. Is like, you know, when people are just like, oh, wouldn't it be great to go back to those times?
So the whole movie it's slapstick, it's comedy, it's very like Naked Gun type movie where there's absurdist humor throughout the entire thing. There's all sorts of visual gags and just running jokes through the whole thing.
And there's some great comedians in here, like Sue Johnston. I'm seeing Tim McMullen, Jimmy Carr.
I think Jimmy Carr helped write it.
Catherine Watterson, she's really funny. There's some pretty funny dudes. Damian Lewis is pretty funny.
Yeah. Everyone does a really great job in this. All of the actors do their parts really well. They take being goofy very seriously, which is how you have to be for this kind of movie. The theater I was in was a very small theater. It was about half full, though. There were people like uproars of laughter. There's all sorts of, there's like hidden visual gags too, or things that you have to sit there and like kind of think about. And you would realize when it hit people in the theater because they were cracking up. It's a fun movie, man. It's a ridiculous premise. You know, this orphan boy who's in his mid-20s is tasked with delivering a letter to Fackham Hall. And then when he arrives there, he catches a glimpse of one of the girls, falls in love with her, and then they mistake him for coming in to be the new hall boy. And so, of course, he accepts the job to be close to her. And then, you know, all of the tropes happen where she's like, well, I've always thought about going in this bar, but I've never done it. We should go. And he goes, well, they don't like your kind around there. And so she dresses all dingy, and they go and they do ridiculous things.
Have a night as real people.
Right. And then he, of course, like he steps in at the wrong time because Tom Felton is about to slap this woman, and he steps in. He's like, hey, don't do that kind of thing. And then everyone's like, you're banned from this place. And it's all just all the same dumb tropes, but everything's played for laughs, and they go off of how ridiculous it is. And it works really well. It's very funny. Jimmy Carr, actually, his part in it was really small, but it was really funny. Everyone that comes in for their bit parts does really well. I liked it, man. And I wish that I would have gotten to finish the movie so that I had like a more real, like well-rounded thing to tell you. But I was kicked out of the theater because poo-poo water was taking over the whole movie theater.
Sometimes.
And then I messaged him. I'm like, hey, guess what? You're not watching your movie tonight.
Yeah, I didn't get to go. But sometimes it do be like that, though. I was going to go see the Jujutsu Kaisen movie, but I did hear from a friend that it is pretty much just like having the last couple of episodes that were already aired and then maybe 1 or 2 episodes of the new season there. So it's like stuff that you're going to be able to see anyway. So I was like, well, I'm not super bummed out about missing it.
Yeah, this movie is something that if you do get the chance to go watch it, it's worth watching. It's fun to go sit in the theater and be, like you were saying, like the theatrical experience. Is it something that you have to see in the theater because of its incredible visual effects or audio design or anything like that?
Nah.
No, but
it's Legion M, and that is an independent co-op ran film production studio. It is owned by like investors. Me, like just regular old people can invest directly in Legion M. That's why it's called Legion M. It's like Legion Movies.
Yeah, but going into the theater gives you the whole staying away from your phone, not being bothered by outside influences, and being able to actually sit and enjoy a dumb slapstick situational comedy that plays everything for a laugh. And it does really good at what it's supposed to do. All of the jokes and gags hit. It's a good mix of very British humor, but something that's more marketable to an international audience. So if British humor is not your thing, there's still plenty of things that'll make you laugh in it. And I think it does really well as just fitting into that entire kind of movie, like Airplane or Naked Gun or Austin Powers or whatever, just goofy, slapstick, stupid comedy kind of a thing. And I think it'll be something that a lot of people will watch time and again because, like, you know what's really funny? Have you seen this movie? And then they put that kind of thing on. So I think it's good. It's worth a watch.
Fack 'em.
Yeah.
Fack 'em all.
And the joke of Fack 'em all is that there's the one guy with the Orkney accent. And so he, every time he says it, you know, he says,
Fack 'em all.
Yeah. And everyone goes, yeah, fack 'em all. And so no one realizes that he's not saying fack 'em all. He's saying the other bit.
F them all.
Yeah. But to everyone else, it sounds like fack 'em all. And they're like, yeah, dude, that's right. Fack 'em all. So yeah, lots of good gags, lots of good jokes. It's fun. I had a good time with it. Recommend it if you get a chance to watch it for sure.
Well, all right. Fack 'em Hall is in theaters right now. It is. It's like the number 13 movie in America.
Yeah, it was in 1,000 theaters.
Yeah, it's not up there at the top. But I had some friends message me. I think maybe one of them that's in the chat there, Al Topich, I think, is still watching. Saw the Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, and my one of my buddies who actually writes for Fayetteville Flyer here, he saw it as well, and said that that the full edit together actually worked way better than they thought it would.
I would imagine it probably makes it a little more palatable than sitting through the crap that is the first movie until you get to Pai Mei to make it worth watching.
So yeah, they said that they're, and then said something about like after credit scenes. Let me pull up this message.
I know somebody was really excited about watching it, and they kept asking me like, "Is one of our theaters getting one of our theaters?" And then when they found out, when I mentioned that it was the two movies sandwiched together, he's like, "Oh, it's not anything new. It's just those two movies together." And I was like,
"Well," and somebody said there was some after credit scenes. I'm trying to find this message, but they said it was really stupid. And
Al says, "Don't watch the after credit scene."
Okay, yeah. So he said, literally, let's see, the something about a Fortnite thing, and he's like, "Is the last thing I would have expected from Quentin Tarantino," but not me. Like, I mean, you know, anything for $1. So, yeah, pretty crazy.
I don't like Tarantino.
It's made with Fortnite graphics. Okay, ew.
Oh, really?
God.
What? A game that didn't exist? Like,
gross. Well,
I never got on the Kill Bill train, man. Like, I thought Pai Mei was cool, and I thought Hattori Hanzo was cool, and the rest of those movies, it just... And Bill was like, what made Bill cool? Nothing.
It was just because he was David Carradine.
Yeah, but
That's the
that
only-
was,
that's why.
it. That's the only
You
reason.
have to know that how cool he was in Kung Fu. The Legend Continues.
But the fact that he's David Carradine does nothing for the character of Bill.
No,
Like,
but
if you don't know, if you're not like,
that's
oh,
what makes that weak. That's the weak spot in that, is because he was not cast because he was good in that role. He was cast because of his legendary status playing in movies like the
what
movie
role,
that this
though?
one was made.
Bill doesn't do anything.
No, I know,
except for
but
show up at the end.
that's the point, is because you're like, it's David Carradine, this legend from all these B movie Kung Fu whatever's, because David Carradine was kind of responsible, almost single-handedly, for maybe not like ushering in the Kung Fu genre to American market, but made it to where white people would watch it. And
When he kicked Bruce Lee out of the role, when he took Bruce Lee's
which
TV
was
show.
shitty. It was a terrible thing, because Bruce Lee should have been that guy. But,
He was.
But David Carradine was the guy that ended up doing it instead. And I don't think it was because he kicked it out. It was the producers.
Yeah, it was definitely the guys in the 60s. They're like, but what if he wasn't yellow?
Right.
Yeah.
But David
That's
Carradine
guys in the 60s. That's not me.
was the actor that was cast to help usher in a lot of that. Because honestly, I think David Carradine's a really terrible actor, if we're being honest. I don't really like. I like a lot of movies that he's in, but he himself, I've never thought was a great actor.
I think all of the Carradines do really well in westerns.
Well, yeah, there's other Carradines are fantastic, but in the comments here, let's catch up in the comments on YouTube. Mark Landry says, "I still remember how much I hated the second Bill Kill Volume 1 when it came out. I saw it in theater and wanted to walk out, but my friend drove and liked it, so the dialogue was so bad." And then Al Topich on Twitch says, "My theater had a bunch of younger people that had never seen Kill Bill before, and they all stuck around for the 4.5 hours, and they had a great time." That's cool. That's cool.
That's cool that there's people out enjoying it. I'm with Mark, where scripts written by Tarantino are just so not good, and I've never understood what's attractive about Tarantino movies to people, because the words that they say are not words that human beings would speak to one another, you know. And it's like, put some shoes on, talk like a human. Like, it's so tough to endure a lot of those. But Pai Mei was cool.
Pai Mei was cool. Well, all right. Well, with that said, I guess let's talk about what people did go see in the theaters. We're gonna wrap the show up with the box office roundup, like we always do. We're gonna give you the top 10 movies in the United States, and then
It's the too soon part.
and then we're gonna tell you what's making money, what's not making money, and that's a good way to find that crystal ball of what's going to be popular. I just unrelated, but I just started watching The Mighty Nine on Amazon Prime, which is the new Critical Role series. So I'll report back when I finish that. But so far, I really liked Vox Machina, and
Is it an animated thing
Yes.
like that? Oh,
did you not watch Legend of Vox Machina?
I don't do anything D&D, man.
It's pretty cool.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
It's not my scene.
It's animated,
Yeah.
but it's cool. You don't like swords and magic and dragons and bad guys and villains. And
I'll watch Kull the Conqueror. I'll watch Conan the Barbarian. I'll watch The Beastmaster.
So imagine that animated. It's better.
Whoa, nothing's better than Beastmaster.
Animated Beastmaster might be. I mean, imagine how cool an animated Beastmaster would be.
That'd be pretty cool.
It'd be pretty freaking cool because they could do a lot more stuff. Anyway, The Mighty Nine. I'm gonna report back, but been digging it so far. All right.
I mean, animated Beastmaster is just like He-Man with more animals.
There's no dice roll, so that's the thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's based on those guys' D&D campaign." There's no dice rolling. There's no game mechanics. There's no.
See, I did watch parts of Vox Machina, and it was just like, it was too adult. Like, they were going out of their way to do all of
Some
the
of
adult
that,
jokes.
yeah, some
and
of
stuff.
those jokes
And
did
like,
get
look at how edgy we are, and that really grated on me, because
But the
I was
story was good.
like, was it? Could you get to the story through all of the stuff where they're like just being obscene for the sake of?
You must have only watched, much like Game of Thrones and Black Sails and some of these shows, where like the first couple of episodes are just like raunchy. Let me see if we can get the ding dongs hooked, and then you start hitting them with hardcore character development. And
We used to.
Because like Game of Thrones did the whole first season was just like titties, beheadings, ding dongs, getting drunk, and then
what was the South Park song? Wieners, 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 wieners,
exactly. And then Black Sails was the same thing. It's like, ahoy, my mateys, cast open your legs, ladies, we gonna be shivering my timber. And then all of a sudden, like after like the first 5 episodes, you're like, this is the coolest pirate drama I've ever seen in my life. And Vox Machina was like that for me because I also had a hard time.
Well, I caught different parts of it because when I worked at a bar, when the bartender was closing, he would have it on the TV sometimes. So I caught different parts of different episodes, but it was always
it's always the
same.
So the little guy, the bard, in the Vox Machina, he was responsible for a lot of these dick jokes. But then, like his arc at the very end, he's like the saddest one, and he's just like the most tragic, suicidal, hates his life, and the reason he's just so trying to be in everybody's face is because like classic performative depression syndrome, and you're like, oh shit, okay, this checks out now. So it's smarter than it reads at first glance. So anyway, let's do this top 10. Number 10.
Well, actually, number 13, the movie I talked to you about, Fackham Hall.
Fackham Hall, yeah.
Made $625,000. So that sucks. But, it's not a bad movie. I just think it didn't get enough advertising and wasn't enough theaters. So going up to number 10, Predator Badlands, dropping from the number 4 spot, somehow still out there in its 5th week, brought in $1.8 million, bringing it up to 88.25 here in the U.S., another 92 million elsewhere in the world, so a little over 180 million bucks. And then opening at number 9, Durandar, a movie that I almost went and watched.
Was it playing here?
Yep, we had it in one theater here.
It's in 391 theaters, and we had it here.
Yeah, it's a Bollywood movie. It's about like war and terrorists, dude. It looks gruesome and kind of brutal, and that's kind of when I was like, I'm gonna watch the comedy movie, because part of that trailer is this dude has all these hooks and this guy's like skin and like shin and his face skin and chest skin and his shin meat.
Ooh.
And there's part of the trailer where he's ripped those hooks out of that dude. The dude's face has been removed from his face. It looked kind of brutal, but it looked like it might have a cool action in it beyond that. But it brought in just about $2 million here in the States. And then holding the number 8 spot, Hamnet, in its 2nd week out, but this is when it really got some theaters going, 744, more than 600 of those gained this week. Brought in $2.3 million in those little bit of theaters, bringing it up to 4.2. Good job, Hamnet. That's not bad money for being in just a few hundred theaters. Yeah. And then at number 7, Eternity, 2.7 million from that one in its 2nd week, bringing it up to $9.5 million bucks. And then the movie that we just kind of covered a little bit there, Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair, at number 6, 3.4 million. It too was only in 1,200 theaters.
It's interesting though that being in that many theaters, it was still in like the top 10 movies, like top 6. You know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there would be that kind.
I love it when a re-release gets traction
for that. Yeah. And then at number 5, losing the number 3 spot, Now You See Me, Now You Don't. 3.5 million for that one. 1 month in has brought it up to 55 million here in the U.S. Another 154 elsewhere in the globe, bringing it up to almost 210 million bucks.
Yep, more money than I expected it to make.
And then, at number 4, the movie that you weren't allowed to see.
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen Execution brought in $10 million, and it's only in 1,800 theaters. Jeez, man. Anime movies. Dude, they crush it right now.
Times are changing.
That's insane.
Times are changing.
That's so crazy to me. I've been watching a lot of stuff on why anime is, popular and stuff now, whereas, used to, you couldn't tell people you like that kind of thing. You didn't advertise that.
And now it's totally cool.
Yeah, now everyone flies their anime flag, but a lot of it is because it doesn't do the same thing that U.S. media does, where it bows and kowtows and changes itself for anyone that has a problem with it. It's because anime is exactly what it should be. It's the same on the page as it is on the screen, despite what Hollywood tells you. You can do that. You have an entire storyboard laid out. Just copy it, you idiot.
It's not trying to like just evolve and market change to grow its like customer base based on Happy Meal sales in this country, in this market.
Right. Yeah, they're not going to change characters to have a more diverse cast. They're not going to...
No, we need him to drink more Pepsi.
Yeah, they're not going to do product placement. They're not going to change to suit you. You either like it or you don't, and that's really what's made so much of that popular. And it's paying off, man. Anime is such big dollars right now. So pretty cool, man. I lived at the wrong time. And then at number 3, Wicked for Good, in its 3rd week, still brought in $17.3 million.
Crazy.
It's grossed almost $300 million in the U.S. in its 3 weeks. Another 143 elsewhere. So it's at $441 million. That's wild. $100 million a week average. That's crazy. And then at number 2, Zootopia, which I've already seen people online say that they've watched this movie more than one time.
What?
That's crazy.
Why?
Yeah. Zootopia 2.
Too many.
$43.4 million, 2 weeks out. It's at $221 million. Another $700 million. What? Dude, Zootopia has made...
Almost $1 billion.
Almost $918 million. It has made $918 million. That's insane. That is crazy. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
No.
What?
No. Just no. Just can we know?
Dude. What?
Just no. Is Zootopia gonna buy Warner Brothers? Like, is that movie just gonna buy Warner Brothers? Yeah. Screw that movie.
Insane. Yeah. Night Ashley said tried to watch it and couldn't get decent seats. There it is. Yeah, man. Everyone is going to watch Zootopia. But you know what? It got kicked off that number 1 spot by Five Nights at Freddy's 2. $64 million for a PG-13 horror movie based on a video game. 46.5 elsewhere in the world. So it's made over 110 million bucks.
It's done just fine.
Yeah.
Just fine.
Well, and to come in with a movie like that and take the top spot from Zootopia, that's crazy.
Because, I mean, Zootopia in its entire run only had a worldwide gross of about $1 billion. And it just, like, 2 weeks has just kicked the shit out of everything. Zootopia.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy, though, to dethrone a $1 billion movie like that coming in as a horror movie for teenagers. That's wild. To just be like, what's up, kids? I heard you like horror movies. Here's Chuck E. Cheese poking his fingers in your eye sockets.
Again.
And they're just like, yeah, dude, money. So,
all right, guys. Well, that is the box office. That is our show. We're done for the day. Well, I am. The sleepies have hit me really, really hard, but I still have work I gotta go do. I just gotta stand up. I've been sitting in this chair for about an hour and 45 minutes because the pre-show. If you want to get in early, you can always like and subscribe. Follow us on our Discord or anywhere you like to follow us. Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube. But we do start a pre-show early, so you can get in on the chat. We talk about all kinds of fun stuff. So, or you can just never look at our faces again and download this podcast wherever podcasts are downloaded. Just search for the Drive-In Speaker Box podcast. Find all of it on our link tree, driveinspeakerbox.com. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Merle, everybody in the comments there, thank you. And happy Krampus, which just passed. So if you know, you know. And we'll see you next week.
See ya.
As you leave the theater, folks,
please be careful. Don't let this happen to your car. Be sure to remove the speaker before you leave. If you should accidentally pull a speaker loose, please turn it in at our snack bar or box office. Thank you.